everybody. We're gonna get started here in a minute. All the way to the Upper West Side, should the internet permit, and we're gonna be buying the paper. That's kind of what we're gonna be doing because it didn't come to the office today. So we need to make the excursion, or I should say the expedition, to the Upper West Side. Yeah, that's really about it. We're outside One Vanderbilt, sitting directly under it. And beautiful day, just a little bit windy, so please excuse the wind noise. Let's go ahead and get started. Shannon, what's up? Alan, this is what paper we're gonna be picking up. IBD, the Investors Business Daily. Now I had them switch the address from my place in Miami to the office. Some weekends it comes, some weekends it doesn't. So just need to figure it out. Very windy, so we'll try to navigate through the crowds and the wind, and hopefully the internet holds up. Jason Sean, solo from Cape Town, South Africa. Wow, love it. Sunshine, just loving the streams that I can watch live from the UK. Yeah, that's true. Very, very seldom do we do these broadcasts during the day. So it's cool to give a different perspective and let another type of audience come in. Anytime I could do them during the day, I'll try my best to do it for sure. Western Mass Dave. Yeah, I'm supposed to be in Miami today. Looks like I'm probably gonna go there on the 1st. Just had to do a few things here in New York. It's a very fluid situation, we'll say. So, but hopefully everyone's having a good weekend so far. See Carl Roth, what's up? This is Madison Avenue, looking all the way uptown. Daniel, what's up? Carter, Solo 401. We got the light. Let's cross here. Maybe we should head up one more block. I don't really want to brave walking through all these people. We'll see. The city's packed today. We're going to try to head to the Upper West Side. We'll go right up Central Park West to 72nd Street. See how the internet holds up on the Upper West. Usually not too good, but who knows? We'll take it day by day and we'll see what's new, I guess. We're approaching Stephen Schwartzman Building, 5th Avenue, 42nd Street. The New York Public Library. Daniels, the Upper West Side. Love to see the area. I do too. And there's a lot of new development going up too. There's a brand new building by Xtel, Gary Burnett's company, that's going up on 65th Street, I believe, which is going to have really spectacular views overlooking Central Park. So if we have enough time, maybe we'll walk past that construction site as well. But yeah, the Upper West Side is an amazing neighborhood with some great buildings. You have 15 Central Park West. You have 1 Central Park West, the new Xtel building. But I think above all is probably the Dakota, which is right on 72nd Street and Central Park West. So, yikes, that lady almost got crushed by the bus. Jeez. Wild, wild stuff. Cosmo. Hope you're enjoying your Saturday. City seems to be pretty busy. Let's try to make a move around these people. Yeah, for sure. Western Mass Dave's has a lot of brownstones too. I'd say between 66th Street and 78 is probably the best block on the Upper West Side for that. Really nice brownstones, nice townhouses. It's quite nice. I think we've mentioned this before, but townhomes are actually having a pretty difficult time selling right now in New York City. Mainly because of the crime issue. Other people are opting to purchase in condos with full service doormen and security. It's kind of tough. So maybe a potentially good trade would be to look at a townhome, single family home in Manhattan. Perhaps pick it up at a discount when the market turns around. You know, maybe you'll get a 12% to 15% premium on what you paid. Who knows? RJ is here. What's up? Good to see you. How's the internet connection on the stream? Because on my end, it shows that the internet is a little bit spotty, which is all right. To the left of us is Bryant Park. Cosmo says you're going to be doing more daytime streams now. No, probably not. It's just yesterday and today I've had some gaps in the schedule. And I'm like, you know what, I gotta walk to the Upper West Side to get the paper anyway. So I might as well take you guys with me. And July 1, which is in 2 days, I'll have to fly back to Miami in the morning. Now I got this message from one of my tenants, I think 2 days ago, like a complaint about how he's like, hey man, there's a lizard in my room. I'm not too sure what to do about it. And I'm like, uh-huh. I'm like, well, just get the lizard out of the room. So I got to deal with that. This kid's complaining about it. But at the end of the day, it's like, look, you gotta kind of, you know, I understand it's the landlord's responsibility, but, you know, if you're a 20-year-old kid and you're like, hey man, there's a lizard in my room, and I'm not too sure what to do. Not too sure what to do? Get it the hell out of there. What do you mean not too sure what to do? Anyway, maybe that's just me. I don't understand the youngins, the younger generations. And this is a smart kid, you know, he's intern at Blackstone, so. I don't know, it's South Florida, man, we have lizards, I don't know what to tell you. Now, in the distance you see this beautiful view of the Steinway Tower. Beautiful. Yeah, Alan's just like I said on X, being a landlord must suck some days. It's not, I mean, it's not, I mean, all of my tenants, thank God, have been really, really awesome. But I just thought it was funny more than anything. It's not really an inconvenience, but it's just funny because I don't know what he was expecting my answer to be. What do you want me to call an exterminator to get out a little lizard? They're like little teeny lizards. And you gotta, it's what happens in Florida, you know? It's what it is. What's up, Xavier? All right, let's get one shot of the Empire State Building, and then we'll head back up. Beautiful day. Kathleen, yeah. Sean, what's up? Daryl from Chicago. Good to see you. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if the lizards are dangerous in any way. Maybe you could get salmonella or something like that, but just a little lizard, that's all. It's a nature living in South Florida. Now there's a difference though. There's a difference between lizards and the iguanas. The iguanas can be pretty massive. They could be like 4 feet long in some cases, so. And there you can see 53 West 53rd. But like I said, the demand this year in the summer has been surprisingly really high. I was not expecting that this year for Miami. I was expecting a little bit of a cooling in the market, but the demand has been pretty much as high as it's ever been. Hey, Tug Carter, what's up? Good to see you. Yeah, it looks like we're going to be doing 2-a-days. Yesterday we were looking at the little island, which was awesome. And today, fingers crossed, I'll hopefully be able to get you guys to the Upper West Side, assuming the internet permits. Wow, Mama Terry says, I'm an old lady in Texas. I've pulled snakes out of the toilet. Oh my God. Scorpions off the ceiling. Jeez. And I've removed the lizard from my cat's mouth. No, but for sure. Yeah, grow up the kid. Yeah, I mean, look, it's, you know, some things you just got to figure it out on your own.
But it's hiking is hands over your own body.
Tatty T, what's up?
I don't know, he didn't answer it.
I mean, I remember some of my first apartments in New York, which weren't even apartments, they were walk-in closets. I would have mice crawling on me at night. You know, just mice, you would wake up and you would see these 2 little beady eyes. And I'm like, geez, that's a mouse. Then you'd have to grab the broom at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning and try to get it the hell out of there. Anyway, but the one thing I've never had at my place in Florida is roaches, or those water bugs, palmetto bugs. Never had them. And when I moved down there, all my friends were telling me that, oh, looks like kids are shoplifting and stealing. Anyway. These meddling kids. Hey, Jonathan from Florida, what's up? It's a beautiful day here in Pompano Beach. Love that. Well, I'll be down in Miami soon enough. Hopefully I can spend a few days to get to the ocean, but we'll see. Fingers crossed no more rain, right? People out in the city today, and I'm not usually out in the city, to be honest, during the day. I'm usually in the office or at different appointments over the city, so I'm not usually, I usually do the most of my walking after rush hour, but it's pretty busy. It's jammed. Right by Del Frisco's. floor by the News Corporation building. Western Mass Days. Was there a parade today? I'm not too sure. People were saying there is. I think tomorrow's going to be the parade. I don't know. I try to stay away from all that stuff. The Mr. Porter, yeah. When I first moved to New York, I rented a bedroom in Staten Island. Thankfully, I don't have to do that anymore, for sure. Most people, when they come to the city, they rent individual rooms. Helps bring down the rent. Now, living with roommates is a pain in the ass. You know, I think, if we're being honest, but if you could suck it up and do it for the first, 12 years, save your money, then you're never gonna have to do that again. You're 19 or 20 or 25 years old, or would you rather do it when you're 35 or 45? So it's kind of like pay the price today, just deal with them. Only a bakery. And Art Deco style though. Off to our right, we have the New Burger Vermin. Michelle Henry, what's up? Happy Saturday and welcome to Midtown Manhattan. We're walking up 6th Avenue, I should say, Avenue of the Americas. On our way to the Upper West Side. G, what's up? This is 53 West 53rd Street. You can really notice the architectural details a little bit more now that it's the daytime. It's quite unique. 2228. This is MoMA. Yeah, it's right here. NG, what's up? Central Park is probably going to be rocking today too. We're passing the flagship Hilton Hotel. And right from the corner of West 54th Street, you're going to be able to see this really unique view of 432 Park Avenue right now. It's a pretty cool shot, right? Victor C, what's up? Welcome. Standing across the street from the Warwick Hotel. Here's the Steinway Tower again. ISFs is someone who has been screwing up in community college. Is it possible to restart all over from scratch with a clean record? Of course. Yeah, of course. I would just focus on picking a skill and mastering that skill and looking at the specific sectors, the specific industries in the market that have the highest earnings potential. So what jobs are in demand, what jobs are probably going to be in demand 10 to 15 years from now, and then work backwards and ask yourself, okay, what skills do these jobs require? What skills do I need to acquire one of these careers? Then I would double and triple down on acquiring those skills, and you'll be marketable and you can get a job and you'll be fine. So pick whatever it is and then really just throw yourself into it. Fabian says, I think that's what I'm going to do. I have a ton of W's, but at the same time, I've gotten A's in some pretty tough courses as well. Nice. And I would say, start entering the workforce before you're ready. Even if you take a little apprenticeship, even if you're not getting paid, you got to get some experience under your belt. What's more valuable is if you can actually do the skill than the piece of paper. The piece of paper is important, don't get me wrong, but can you perform in the free market in whatever you want to do? So don't get too caught up in the classes, because at the end of the day, whether you get a B+ in the class or an A in the class, it has no material impact on your success or not. So I would and this is just my personal opinion, if you can put in, let's say, 60% effort into the curriculum just to get the grade, and if you put in 60% effort, if that's going to garner you a B, but if you put in 100% effort, if that's going to garner you the A, I would much rather put in the 60% of the effort and then spend the other percentage of your effort on getting into the marketplace, networking with the right people, doing the job, building your own thing on the side. You just got to get going, right? So I would kind of do that trade, in my view. Because most jobs, right, every job I've gotten, I've never, not once, right? And again, if you're going to be a doctor, or if you're going to be a lawyer, it's much different. You know, you got to get the really, really high marks. But generally speaking, anything else, like if you're going to go into an engineering field, if you're going to go into finance, if the kid who gets a B or a B plus and the kid who gets an A, but the kid who gets a B built a company in college, or they started to work in college, they built their own portfolio of work, they're going to take the person with the B who also did other things outside of the schooling than the person who just sat in the school, looked at the book and got the A. So you gotta decide that for yourself. What is it you want to do? You know, you seem like a smart guy, and if you can build something, whatever that may be, maybe you want to get into software, maybe you build your own, on the side you build your own app. It doesn't necessarily even need to work. You just need to be able to show a hiring manager that, hey, I took the initiative and started to build this. You know, this is why it didn't work, because the code was buggy here, but I actually took the initiative to do it. And you can apply that to anything. So that's what I'd say. But you got to start getting the experience. This is Central Park South, everybody. We finally made it. This is Trump Park, 106 Central Park South. And then looking over towards the other way, this is 50 Central Park South, the Ritz-Carlton Hotel and Residences. And then obviously the Sherry Netherland. Let's see how the wide angle lens. Beautiful day. Building your own portfolio of work. You know, doing things yourself. You really got to do things yourself. I always think back to that really funny meme that it says, you know, this entry-level job requires 3 years of experience. And everybody complains that, well, in order to get the job, I need to have a job to get the experience. That's incorrect. You need to do it yourself. You need to do things yourself and create your own portfolio of work, as I like to call it. So let's say if somebody Googled your name, okay, or looked up to your profile, what would they see? Would they see articles you've written, papers you've published, you know, research reports, projects you've worked on, things you've built? So whatever it is you want to do, electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, any field, software engineering, sales, finance, you need to be building that portfolio of work yourself. So if you want to be in finance, like if you want to be in, say, equity research or something like that, I would first focus on doing the job before you get it. You know, what stocks are you covering personally? This is all publicly available information. You could do it yourself. You know, start to model a bunch of companies in Excel. Compare the valuations of different software companies, or compare the valuations of different acquisition targets for a major deal that you've read about in the Wall Street Journal, and publish it yourself on your own website. Like, if you can present that to someone, they're going to be really, really impressed, and they're going to give you a shot. And additionally, chances are, if you do that yourself, chances are you're going to be making money yourself, and maybe you won't even need the job, because, you know, you could consult with different firms. or you can consult with different family offices to sell your research to them direct. So you just got to do things yourself. Be absolutely self-sufficient. All right, let's make this right. And we'll see if the internet works on the Upper West Side. New England Crypto, what's up? Photos from around New York. Welcome. I see Theo is here. Good to see everyone. Cheers. All right, this is the New York Athletic Club here. To the park and take a little shortcut. We'll make a right and then we'll veer off to the left.
Yo, that's why I'm scared to go to Asia. Because they can tell you, oh, your body is like
Wow, Central Park looks beautiful today. So we're going to pop out right by the Trump International Hotel and Tower, 1 Central Park West. And then you can see 15 Central Park West, just off to the right. And those 2 blue towers is the Deutsche Bank Center. What do you guys think is better, the wide angle or the standard lens? What's up, DC? Welcome to Columbus Circle. Really humid out today, though. officially Central Park West. Let's continue on up. Oh, the last thing I'll say about the whole about applying to a job. So if you look at a job's credentials, right, or the requirements, and it says you need this degree, I would just completely ignore that. If you think by reading the job description that you can perform well there, I would put in for it, and I would just completely disregard all of the so-called requirements, because the requirements are meaningless. I mean, you'd be surprised. Some of these people that hold these big positions, you know, they're no better than you. Trust me. You know, I mean, even some of my close friends that I like, they're my really good friends. You know, they're VPs at, you know, big banks. And I'm like, dude, we joke around. I'm like, how do you know nothing about finance? Literally nothing. And you're a VP at, you know, undisclosed bank. It's just, you know, we're obviously teasing each other, but you'd be surprised, man. Trust me. So just put in for absolutely everything and just impress them in the interview, because you'd be surprised. Some people that are, you know, have these big fancy titles, I mean, geez, they know zero. Not all, right? But there are some, and you'd be surprised. So here's the main roundabout at 15 Central Park West. Really beautiful, nice landscaping. All right, let's merge. Slightly obese rat. Yeah, we'll check that out. So the new building on 66th Street, that's the new Xtel building. So oftentimes we talk about 157, Central Park Tower, 1 Manhattan Square. This new development that we're gonna go to now is the same developer, Xtel. See if we can switch back to the regular. Firestorm, what's up? Welcome to New York City's Upper West Side. We're about to walk past Lincoln Center. And you're gonna have this big row of restaurants. The Smith is gonna be one of them. But if you guys are enjoying the live stream so far this evening, feel free to leave a like on the video. And click the subscribe button if you're new. We usually do these every day, mostly at 8:45. British Gray, what's up? West 63rd Street, also known as Sesame Street. nice outdoor dining here at the Smith. This place is always packed. This is the Cafe Fiorello. What's up, Frank? Trust you're having a good weekend. Now, the place that I usually buy the paper is on 83rd Street and Amsterdam. No, excuse me, 83rd and Columbus. 83rd and Columbus. This is a pretty good bakery. Hey, George. Nice to see you. Do I prefer the east side or the west? I think I prefer the west side to the east side for sure. If I had to choose to live upper west or upper east side, I think I'm definitely saying the upper west side for sure. I don't even know if it's a competition. Mainly because it's laid back here. You know, the upper east side is it's a little too buttoned up for me. You know, it's a little bit too stuck up. Upper West Side is, you'll notice it's more free. I feel like a lot of people here are more laid back. The Upper East Side kind of, people take themselves too seriously. I think we'll leave it at that. Tug Carter says, I'm determined to find a place in Sutton Place. You've sold me? Yeah, Sutton Place is beautiful. That's just before you head into the Upper East Side. Now we'll make a quick tour, or a quick detour I should say. We're coming up on 50 West 66th Street. This is that new building that's going up. You're gonna have amazing views over Central Park, all of Billionaires Row, and also great exposures to the west. So you can see the Hudson River too. The developer is Xtel. We talk about Xtel quite often, as they are responsible for Billionaires Row, 157 West 57th Street. Wait until these cars go by, and then we'll cross. Seems like everyone's moving at a snail's pace. All right, here we are, everybody. What do you think? This is the new building, 50 West 66th. This is gonna be something, man. This is gonna be awesome. And I think it's a good site because even though it's not right on Central Park West, I mean, it's close enough. So the higher up you are, you're gonna get those unobstructed views of Central Park. can't quite see it, but you're gonna have the balconies overlooking Central Park. So I don't know, whenever they allow us to go up in the building and do like a preview, we'll be able to compare and contrast the views, because as I've said, and you guys have heard me say this multiple times, if you go up into One Central Park West, which is the Trump International Hotel and Tower, I think it's better views than the buildings on Billionaires Row, because you can see all of Central Park, but you can see all the architectural beauty of each individual building on the row. So here, you're gonna be able to see the same exact thing. I mean, you may need to buy on a high floor so you can clear the surrounding buildings, but it doesn't look like you're gonna need to be that high. It looks like anything above the 20th floor, you'll be able to see a good view just fine. Oh, Jody, since you were across the street from my old office, I worked at ABC for years. Wow, cool. Yeah, we're right here at ABC. Must be a little walk down memory lane, right? I mean, it must have been a beautiful neighborhood to go to work every day. You're right next to Lincoln Center. There's really good restaurants. As you continue up, if you make a right on Columbus, which I'm sure you know, you've worked here for a long time. There's this restaurant I like called Parm, P-A-R-M. It's really good. It's like an Italian place. I sometimes go there for lunch. Not really much anymore. Mainly because I'm never on the Upper West Side anymore. Michael Strahan. I think I saw something that Michael Strahan's daughter is now in remission from cancer, which is awesome. That's such a hard, must be such a hard thing to deal with. Must be so difficult to deal with that. The chemotherapy is just brutal. If anyone who's watching the broadcast know, or maybe you've gone through it yourself, or known someone who's gone through it, it's really tough. It's really, really tough. Hey, Sabrina Fair, what's up? Good to see you. Hopefully the internet is holding up well.
For her.
Hey, Layla, what's up? So I miss living in this neighborhood. Best place in Manhattan to live. If you can afford it, even better than Sutton Place. Yeah, I really like Upper West Side. There's a few brownstones down here that are really nice. Mainly single family. In 2 more blocks, maybe we'll make a right and you can see some of the brownstones I'm talking about. This is Joe Coffee. It's okay.
My mom would never go in.
Never. He would never go.
TC, what's up? Wow, JC, George,
I know it's like super.
thank God.
I would.
Now you're gonna see a lot of beautiful single family here. Isn't it nice? Look at that.
Okay, you put them. Okay, put them on.
Check these out. Try to go to the wide angle lens so you can see a little bit better. These are awesome, particularly the ones coming up. What's up, Natalie? This is Tomcat. I thought you were going to be in Miami today. I thought so too. We will be there the 1st. Hold on, let me pull up my other phone and see how the internet is. I keep getting this notification that we have no internet. I want to see if that's fake news or not. But what do you guys think? These brownstones are beautiful. It's working. It's a little spotty, but hey, Brad's Brain, what's up? Yeah, we're just checking out some of the new development. Let's cross and then let's continue to head up. Yeah, it is a little choppy. Yeah, the United States doesn't really have good internet. Mainly because it's an older, older infrastructure. If you go to like Korea or something like that, you pretty much get coverage everywhere, even underground.
Oh my god, it's like a break off.
This is West 70th Street. There's the spot over here to the left. I haven't been here in so long. I'll see how long the line is and maybe I'll go in. Hey, Troy Atman, what's up? Yeah, we have to make an emergency trip to the Upper West Side. So I have to get the paper that wasn't delivered today to the office. It's all right. It's that Parm spot I was talking about, which is very good. All of these restaurants pretty much here between 70th and 71st are really good. Oh, awesome. Cool. This place is called Black Press. I haven't been here in such a long time. All right, 72nd Street. We got to make a detour to the Dakota real quick.
There is a red, like,
Looks like we'll see the Dakota, and then I think I gotta cut it short because the phone's gonna die. Right, this is the Majestic, which is also another really nice building. Right here we have the Dakota.
A lot of them have these weird old.
Super nice. What do you guys think? Right on the corner of Central Park West and 72nd Street. And we're looking at the famous Dakota building. You can see those original gas lanterns. And then if we cross into Central Park, that's going to be Strawberry Fields. Yeah, I know, Alan. It pretty much is a hurricane. The wind. All right, everyone. I think we will go ahead and call it an afternoon. Thanks so much for joining us on this excursion to the Upper West Side, and we will see you all tonight at 8:45. So if you enjoyed the stream, feel free to leave a like on the video. Click the subscribe button if you're new. We'll see you right back here tomorrow, or tonight, at 8:45. Thanks so much.